be. You're tuning in now to WSPR Radio. And we have the great John Freddy in the building.
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
Going good. How you feeling?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Good. No problem. Of course, of course. So, for everyone that doesn't know John Freddy, who is John Freddy in this, in a nutshell?
He's a poet. He's an activist, a creator, and a visionary, I would say. I would hope so.
That's a lot in one.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, where are you from originally?
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Oh, so you right here, right in Jersey.
Yeah.
So, what made you want to go into being more of a visionary?
Well, it started, I was a journalist, actually. I started as a writer. My fourth grade teacher kind of put me on since I was 9 years old. And vicariously, I kind of lived her dream until I realized the industry itself of publication is kind of dying out. So I was laid off. And then I found myself continuing doing open mics and using the writing that I was writing as a vehicle for, moving people.
Right.
And then from there, we teamed up with High 97's Drewski. We created a movement called Herjohn, which anybody can check out on Instagram, #Herjohn. It's a resume, and we create and we coordinate different opportunities, such as Dean's List Tour, whom I'm with today.
Right.
And we give tri-state local artists opportunity to showcase their talents that they would otherwise not have.
Definitely. I like that. So, going back into the writing, I know you started writing for the Star Ledger at first. What made you want to start writing for them?
It was a dream, because in New Jersey, of our New York Times.
Yeah.
It's like that's the last source, that's the end all be all of information. So I was blessed. I got in there early to get out early. So I got laid off. Like, along with 40 other people, I woke up one day and I checked NewJersey.com, the website I wrote for, and I found out there that I was laid off. So everything happens for a reason. Like,
so they didn't even give you no type of warning or nothing?
No warning, but had that not happened, I would not be here with you. So.
Exactly. So it all comes in together.
Right.
And I know also with that you write for The Source.
Yes, ma'am.
And
yes.
how is that for you? That's new? How recent is that?
Probably like 6-7 months, and you can move up quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Put it at that.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? Did you just send a resume, you went through other people, or it just came to you?
Nah, yeah. So when I was coming here, I wanted to really talk about the law of attraction, as far as how what you put your mind to, it materializes your thoughts. So when I was at a point when I was ready for The Source, I didn't know I was ready for The Source, but when I was 20, I got fired from another job simultaneously. And the idea to holding us was telling us, oh, you guys we're gonna be bought out by The Source, and we're gonna be under their umbrella, under their conglomerate, which was a total lie. And then 3 years later, I found myself there, and it was in the office, and I just knew I needed something new. It was in my gut feeling, you just know this isn't for me.
Right.
This isn't it. So they had an audition, or they had an open calling, and it was like 400 or 500 people there, and then I just made myself known, and I told them the same thing I'm telling you today.
What, is it nerve-wracking though? Because I know for some people they'll feel it in their gut, but they'll just go based on what's on paper and just go with that instead. Was it ever an issue for you just to run for it?
No. I always think about if I'm 70 or 80, how am I going to look back on my life? There's a metaphor that we experience life in a car, but looking at the rearview mirror. So by the time we rationalize and understand where we're at and why we're there, we're already looking at an old situation. So I always look at it from that situation as if, I'm at the end and I'm looking backwards. We're living life backwards. So, I almost see it as everything is written. So
I never thought of it like that before. You put it in a whole new perspective.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Thank you. So going into the writing, who was your main inspiration? Did you have any real authors that you looked up to, or just your teacher, for instance?
Stephen King. So I would always write scary stories, but I'm not I wasn't much of a reader. I used it as a vehicle for expression. So if I felt a certain way, I would just put it on paper. But the great writers, you can't deny Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest poets of today.
Oh, absolutely, without a question.
He has a class. You get me, the same way we study Shakespeare, we study Kendrick, we study M. So those are my influences. But Kanye West, he's the man right now.
You went to Times Square yesterday?
Nah, I didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was so mad. It started raining, and I heard about Kanye on Twitter. Kanye in Times Square. I'm like,
what?
He was literally, it was crazy. How it was for the Super Bowl Boulevard, how it was packed. It was packed like that.
Wow.
It was insane. And I heard he went off, too. And it was raining and everything. He didn't care. He just went off.
That's exciting.
I know. I was so sick that I didn't go. I was like, geez, Kanye, he just popping up. I didn't know. Well, I think they announced it, but they didn't, really, promote it as much.
Yeah.
But
they probably did it the same day. Oh, he's going to be there in an hour.
Yep. Literally, that's how, exactly. They did it an hour before.
Yeah.
And that's how they talked about it.
Word.
So, I was like, ugh. I was upset. I was so hurt. So I know, right? So going into poetry, what do you like to talk about? Do you like to see like what you see on the street or personal experiences?
Just everything. There's no limitation. I just know that when I try to write, I always keep in mind I want to bring people closer to who they truly are. And if I could be transparent and tell my stories, I know that we could all be universal and really understand themselves by looking at themselves through me. So when I tell my story, I tell everybody else's story.
Have you ever had people like after you do a performance, they come to you and be like, "Wow, like I felt like you literally like just spoke to me."
Yeah, and that's the best feeling. Like those are the little like, breadcrumbs of life that keep you going.
Right, so it just makes you even like go even harder to like just do more.
Yeah, right.
Definitely. So we have John Freddy in the building here. If you have any questions, tweet at 411 with Shantia B. You hear WSP's interviews with people on campus and in the entertainment industry. We have, in addition to the interview, we have Miss Sade here in the building.
Hey.
How are you?
Fine. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So before we went into the break, I was talking to John Freddy and just talking about his career in writing. So what is the movement?
The movement is a conglomerate of artists in the tri-state area that have come together and created their own way of making it, whether it was they're creating their own shows and having their friends on there and then creating that as a networking source. But it also stems from Drewski's movement with Cypher Sounds. So we're the art movement. The Hurt John movement is the art movement. But they're the movement as far as the overall umbrella, but we all fall under the same hustle.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
We all work with each other. And now the Dean's List tour with Sade and so yourself, we're all part of the movement because at the end, like we were talking off air, a network is just one hand washes the other. Like we help each other. Rather than exchange funds, we exchange skills.
Exactly, just bring them all together and combine them.
And then we go out into the world and then give out what we can to the rest of the world that's looking from the outside in, that's not involved in the industry.
Exactly. So with the movement, what made you want to create this movement? Kind of with Drewski and Cypher Sounds, but what made you want to go underneath their umbrella to branch out into this?
Well, so it started I started doing open mics when I got laid off, so that was my only way of making money. And then I really figured out a way to market. So I didn't know I had a marketing itch, but I knew how to do that, and I knew how to perform, and I knew how to curate. So it's just it just became a vision that eventually became showcases. So rather than an open mic, it became a bigger thing, which features a gallery. So it has also pictorial artists in the gallery, and then it has the showcase, which is hosted by Dariani Centeno, who's a Kane University graduate. She's part of our movement now. She works for HBO and stuff.
Oh wow!
And, shout out to Dariani. And then Drewski's our DJ. So when we became affiliated with Drewski, the school that I dropped out of, Kane University, wrote an article about us, and they called us the movement. So it was
that's crazy. I came back full circle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
You're right. Exactly. This comes back full circle. So going into everything, how many people do you say are in this whole movement as a whole?
A good 300. It's
wow.
To me, it's really the modern day downtown 500, what the 80s was.
Oh, gotcha.
So Basquiat, Madonna, Keith Haring, them coming out of that same circle, and them just having the same interest. That's all it was.
Exactly.
They just had the same vision. They just wanted the same thing, and they helped each other whether they knew it or not. We're doing the same thing, and Dean's List is part of it too. I'm sure Dean's List. 500 people tried out for Dean's List. You get me?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So we're gonna get right into the Dean's List.
Right.
Dean's List tour, for those of you that don't know, is this crazy, explosive, insane tour with amazing talent that is all through the tri-state area. I know you guys had. I know because I had Sade J here and OnStar here. They said that not everybody goes on the tour. It'll be split up. Some people go to Stony Brook, another one goes to Connecticut. So where have you guys been so far?
I've been to NYIT. John Jay. There's another school which I don't, because I don't know the name, but I know New Haven's coming up this Saturday, so anybody that's out in Connecticut or taking the drive out with us, shout out to you.
So you excited? But how's it been, the tour life?
It's cool.
It's fun.
You want to say something about it?
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's just dope because you get to be around so many other people and so many other artists like yourself. Everyone's so talented in their own way and dope in their own way, so even practices are fun for me. Just being there and vibing because we always perform for each other and we, give our critique at the end. It's just a dope vibe. I'm so happy I'm a part of it.
So how was the process being, because you guys said how many people auditioned? 500 auditioned? How was the whole process? Was it an all-day thing you had to stand outside to take a number and wait, American Idol style, or?
They're very organized. So they gave us time.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, so, they did us a favor. They took all the work and they just delegated times amongst themselves. And it was probably like a 40-minute process, waiting and then performing, then having to perform again a second time, and then being called in for the third time, and they got rehearsed.
Wow, that's not bad. Yeah, I was about to say, that's not bad at all. I know some people that I know someone from my school. He does audition for American Idol, and he said like the line was cause like he went to National Coliseum. Cause I know you for American Idol you auditioned as well. The line
is ridiculous,
crazy. How was that for you? I know you auditioned for American Idol.
Yeah, when I was on auditions, it actually was really, really cold. I remember it was raining, it was freezing, and you just feel like you're out there forever. I think we were online for like 8 or 9 hours.
Wow.
That's how many people come out.
So wait, how's the process? Do you like? I know I saw like a video. Like, do you go to the stadium audition, then you audition for like the real judges?
Yeah, well, there's actually like 7 rounds you have to go to before you even meet the real TV judges.
Really?
Yeah, they make it seem like it's one big audition and you go in.
That's what I thought.
No, it's not like that. You gotta come. I came back 7 different times before you get to meet them. Like the people that's bad, for entertainment.
They just throw them in.
They just get through, to make the ratings go up. But it's a long, dragged out process. But it's worth it in the end. It's nerve wracking.
Really?
Oh my god.
So wait, when you went, was it the same judges now when you auditioned, or is it?
I don't know who's there now, but it was Steven Tyler, it was J-Lo, and it was Randy when I went.
Oh, okay. Now I don't think Randy's there.
Yeah, I think he did leave.
Yeah, but I think J-Lo's still there. I forgot their names. I know definitely J-Lo. I forgot the other 2.
Well, that's who was there when I auditioned. The harsh one was Randy.
Really?
Not harsh, but he was the one, he was the one that was, giving the criticism. He was,
I'm surprised because he seems like on the show he seems like the very chill out one. Just get everything together, take it to Hollywood, and that's it. I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, when Simon was there, he was the more chill one, Randy. But now that Simon's gone, Randy's kind of took in that role.
Yeah.
But the nice one was Steven Tyler. J-Lo was so sweet. It was really fun.
I know you want to take a picture. We're like, I give you a hug, please.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's good. So obviously you got to take it to Hollywood. How was that whole for Irish? She got to take it to Hollywood. How was that whole process going there?
It was alright. It was bittersweet because it was exciting, but then again, it was so nerve wracking. I don't think people know how much pressure there is to be on TV and have to sing. Right now, when we on a tour, we get to sing. You like it or you don't. We love what we're doing, but there you're waiting to be judged. You know what I mean?
So it's always like a make or break moment in that particular time.
Yeah, a few times I'm like, I just want to go home.
So how far did you get for?
I got to the end of Hollywood week.
Okay.
And then I got kicked off because it was taped. It was when we had the audition. It was during December, so here in Jersey it was freezing. But when I got to California, it was 90 something degrees. So automatically my body was like,
yeah, where's the Lipton, please?
Yeah, I automatically got a sore throat, and I was fighting through it. I fought through to the end, and then I cracked, and I just was like, oh, man. But it was worth it. Yeah. I would do it over.
You do it over. You should. Why not? It sounds like a great experience.
I mean, I'm just in the stage where I just want to, focus on my writing, focus on recording. I don't know, I wouldn't want to take the process away. Would I go back? Probably not. But I'm glad I got the experience when I had it. It made me stronger, made me want to keep, continue
going
hard.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started singing and songwriting?
Writing? I started writing after American Idol. When I went for American Idol, I was 15. That was season 10. And I started writing at 16. But I've been singing since I was since forever. In church is where I started.
So your family's musically oriented, or
my dad sings, my aunt sings, my grandpa sings. We have these gospel groups, and it's generation. My great grandpa sung before he passed away. Rest in peace. But it's a tradition that we've been following. So
definitely, and you were in a quartet as well with the gospel angels.
Why
you start laughing? That's so cute.
It is cute. I probably would come up with a different name now, but it was fun. It was me, my sister, my cousins. We're not together, and we're not singing as a group anymore, but we still go to church, and we still, do our solo thing every now and then. We always in church. Every Sunday, choir rehearsal, it's just, you know.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right with God. So we have Sade and John Freddy in the building. If you have any questions, tweet at 411 with Shantia. Hello, hello, hello. We are back with the 411 with Shantia B on WSPR Radio. Listening to that Michael. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Good. she all giggly today. She all laughing. So, John Freddy.
What's up?
You do the writing.
Yes.
You do the art.
Yes.
Which
Sing
one?
a little bit.
Oh, you sing a little bit?
Just a little bit.
What? You rap a little bit?
Yeah.
You want to spit some spoken words, some knowledge?
Yeah, that's fine. Yo, I know a lot of things. But I know kids with depression for backpacks who lack an education for that strap. I know girls with boyfriends who mistreats them, but she'll never understand his true frustration that she needs him and beaten. He doesn't know any better, so he bleeds in sin. His dad has woman out the house while he does his best rendition of I will never be like him and everything he is not, so she suffers a lot. Down with the backpack, the boy pulls some pills out of the knapsack, but she tells him that's not okay. Oh, but you can't confuse depression for a mistake or blame the pain he feels today for breaking the hearts who feel the purple rain, but that's a lesson. He's probably the product of passive aggression, a mother some drugs and no time to listen, because when you're in love, you try the revision, but when you're in love, you barely have vision. I believe you can change, she says. You have to relieve the rage instead. Learn to love like they couldn't and pray your daughter finds a man who's a student just like you. Growing up was never an excuse, but maturing that much will help us renew. Because it's hard to love you when you don't know what love is. And it's hard to hug you when you close your departments. I walk through the aisles of your brain a mess and shake the hands of those you repress. I hold your inner child and cry and design the insides of your mind, hoping someday you'll find some time in here. I know your biggest fear, but you're breaking me, dear. You tie me up in your knot till you're naked in here. He smiles in my tummy, but he could barely make it in here. He even knows your dishonest through such hollow, so you go break me in fear. Remember who you once were, and we can make it in here.
Woo! Okay.
Some realness.
That was my first time hearing you. You're dope.
Thank you.
Some realness, man.
Right.
That touched me, man.
Thank you.
That was real deep. I like it.
Thank you.
So you just off the spot, like no written down, just freestyle 24/7.
I try.
Did you get anybody had to teach you like how to just freestyle off the top like that, or it just came accustomed to you?
Like my cousin realized that I could rap, and what he did was he would take me to people's houses, and I didn't know, but he was making me battle them.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was like practice. So it was like, it's kind of like free verse was what they call it in poetry, but it eventually became like a skill.
Oh wow, definitely. So you got it on lock now. It's out here
Yeah,
freestyling.
and I got a vision, so it's like it started with journalism, it started with poetry, then it's gonna go into songs, and then it's gonna go into much more things.
So everything was just that one step. Just like
Yeah.
it fell everything right into place.
Yeah,
Even though at first it didn't seem that everything was falling into place, but everything was already set planned for you.
Chaos theory.
Yes, for
Right.
sure.
Right.
So what do you have for the future?
The future, we're working on some shows as far as the Hurt John movement. I want to create an album which is going to be inspired by Gil Scott-Heron, so it has poetry, but it also has like segments that consist of conversations between people that segue into the songs that I'll be writing, and then create like a play-like story around it, which is driven through a protagonist. So one day it can be a one-man show.
I was about to say, I was like, you should make that into like a whole show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would definitely be
painting
good.
these pictures, like the same. It's like I feel like when I wrote that story rendition of the poem I just performed, it was from the perspective of a female. So but anybody that hears it, it touches on certain aspects where it's like shit, like I felt that.
Right.
So those were my intentions. So
right.
That's the gist of everything. Like I said, my art, I want to bring people closer to who they truly are and raise awareness and consciousness. I feel like the poet's job and duty is to point the finger to what's hurting people without them really knowing.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. That especially with everything going on right now and
everything. Like people don't even know about racism and 1 in 9 black people being involved in the prison systems, or you get like, this overwhelming brutality, police brutality, stop and frisk.
Exactly. They
like,
just announced that Obama's going to try to add body cameras onto everyone, but now everybody's saying, okay, you want to add the cameras, but that's still not going to fight the justice and this and that. But I'm like, it's a start.
Yeah,
we got to do something, or else it's going to be in a minute about to be a war up in here, and no one's going to be able to help us.
Yeah, Ferguson is like a war zone. Like, it's 1968 all over again.
Yeah,
Like
right on mouth.
Like I have conversations with people and I tell them like what as an artist like you sometimes feel like what you do. I guess like for example Marvin Gaye wrote What's Going On, that album, and they play that song in Ferguson while they're rioting and picketing. Like give me there's pieces of art that can be drawn and tell the story of what the people are feeling on the inside, where the media tells the story of what's going on as a country for its own benefit and interest.
Exactly.
So that's the role of the artist, but at the same time the struggle has been consistent since 1968. My mother's father's stores were burned in 1968 in Brooklyn to now, you know, the same liquor stores being burned down in Missouri. Like it's
the history repeating itself. And it's like if no one, a strong leader, then like go out and tell people about it, no one's gonna know about it. I know when I went to Powerhouse, J. Cole, before he even started his set, it was like a 6-minute montage of police brutality from like the past and then going into now. Literally, it's the same exact thing. So it's like nothing changing, and literally the whole the stadium was quiet. Not one person talked, and it was moving.
Exactly.
I told him I was like I am inspired. It was especially coming from New York, graduating from St. John's. It was definitely moving.
Word. And that's the duty of an artist. I really feel like if you're talking about like even when you're talking about party, all you're doing is invoking emotion. But your duty as an artist is to tell the real story of how people feel. And if you're neglecting racism, if you're neglecting loneliness, if you're neglecting oppression, you're not an artist. You're not doing your duty as an artist.
Right.
That's how I feel. And the same. And I feel like the real role of what an artist should do, or anybody, a DJ, anybody, is to make everybody in the room feel the same way. And your role as an artist, you need to take that responsibility as an intellect. You were able to articulate those feelings. You were able to articulate what was going on in the world. So it's your duty to make everybody for a split second feel how you feel, because you know that's how everybody feels.
Gotcha.
So and J. Cole did his thing. So
yeah, he did. He did it. I'm waiting for that album next week. What? 7 more days. Yeah. I can't wait.
He's a gem. Like we got blessed with J. Cole. He's one of the few artists that made it through, you know, the haystack.
For real, I heard one track is not out yet, but they said one track is 14 minutes long. I don't know what he did with it. 14 minutes. I don't know what he's gonna do with that, but I'm excited to hear it. So you definitely gotta listen out to that. So Sade, I know you have a lot going on as well. So although you're doing the Dean's List right now, I know you did the WBLS Circle of Sisters. How was that for you?
It was exciting. It was really chaotic. Like it was so many. I just remember being mad people. I remember some stars were walking through, so like it was just so much people. And then once I started performing, I started seeing I was getting people attention. I was like, okay, and it was just fun. I actually was supposed to do it this year, but I think something came up. So next year I definitely will be doing it.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you guys ever, this is for both, do you guys ever get shell-shocked when you guys meet certain celebrities? Or you guys, like, past that, like, oh, it's whatever, like, they're just regular people?
I haven't met that many, honestly.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I learned from an experience one time. I went to a party in Brooklyn, and Immortal Technique was standing right next to me, and I didn't want to say hi because I was so nervous, and I'll never do that again. Like, I told myself, like, I don't care if it's Michael Jackson from the dead, I'm saying, like, you gotta speak because they gotta know you're there. Like,
exactly.
And, you know, 100 people might know you, but if one artist knows you, then their network knows you. If they trust you and you get that cosign from an artist, and it starts from the mere conversation and the courage that you had and the courage of your music and your stuff, that's how it starts.
But you never know when you're going to see them again. You know?
Yeah, and that's so true. And I think what people really fail to realize is that this world is so small.
What?
Literally, I didn't know people. I didn't know even people I've had on the show. I didn't know. Oh, you know that person? I'm like, how do you guys know each other? You're from Jersey. You're from Long Island. How did this work? Yeah. So you know, I'm just at a party in here. So it does really all coincide with each other.
Right.
You guys from Elizabeth too.
But she's from Woodbridge.
Oh
yeah.
We're the same town.
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey.
This is my first time meeting you, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So wait, you guys like never performed like in the same set? You guys like always split up?
No, we've never been on a show together.
Yeah. So we get split up, and this is the first time I've met her. But I've seen her on flyers. Nice to meet you.
Definitely, you're back on the 411 with Shantia B at WFPR Radio. Got John Freddy in the building.
Yay.
Got Sade in the.
Hey.
We here chilling. So we have a question for lovely Sade from it's Lini _ hope I said that correctly. She said, why is it important for females to have morals, and are you in a relationship?
Ooh. Well, for the first question, it's important for females to have morals because I just feel like if you don't respect yourself, nobody else will. You know what I mean? If you don't respect your body, you don't respect your mind, you don't just respect you as a whole, someone's going to run over you and they're going to take advantage of you. So nowadays, I feel like we, as a generation, we're a little more riskier. You know, with like, you know, nipple piercings,
right?
And
the clothing,
and just the way we talking and stuff like that. So it's hard to differentiate from being just in today's generation and still, you know, having respect for yourself without looking like the stuck up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I just think it's a must have. That's something I live for. I mean, I live by. Like my dad's in my house. So he ain't playing with that.
Shout out to Pops.
He's very serious, and the way he's raised me was to always respect myself, carry myself like a lady, and make sure everyone else around me respects me. So it's very important.
Definitely.
The second question, I'm not in a relationship. I'm single as a dollar bill. Yeah.
promo.
And I'm happy with it. You know, I think a lot of people stress the fact like, oh my God, I need someone, and I'm just in my moment where I'm focused on my music. You know what I mean? I'm focused on the bigger picture.
Everybody looking for that cuffing season and that draft
Yeah,
day.
because it's getting cold.
Right, the Christmas tree lighting tomorrow. Everybody's like, oh, I want someone to come to the Christmas tree lighting with me. Oh, see the tree. See, look, so if you get some text message, Mom, just know I warned you. And you too. I warned you.
It's that season.
Exactly. So, but you above that. You doing your music, your career.
Right.
So, same thing for you. How do you feel in the male perspective?
As far as what?
Guys having morals and self-respect.
Well, first of all, I want to mention a great statistic about females: 70 cents to $1. Like that's all you gotta really say. Like about, you know, as far as where they stand in corporate America, and men is they have to stick to their morality. Is if you keep reflecting what you see in the media, then you'll deteriorate morally. Like the media and the industry and Hollywood and all of that is made to bank off stereotypes. You know, that's why a lot of these black people, you know, they. Like a lot of black comedians specifically, they do like female roles. It's almost like they're playing themselves. They play the stereotypes. They're the loud, ignorant ones.
Right.
Rather than, you know, being a strong black man, being a strong Spanish man. Like for me specifically, like being a minority, a Hispanic, like we don't even have a hero yet. We've yet to see a Malcolm X. We've yet to see a Martin Luther King. So for me to even walk as a king down my street is needed. And we need more kids. We need more kids to believe in themselves and stand up for what they feel, because if you have no morality, you have no ideal behind your backbone, then you'll just fall at whatever else anybody else defines you as. So I think that's why I'm the strongest. I don't really have anything beyond that except for that's my answer. Nice to see.
Definitely, for sure. So, right?
Yeah, no.
So, as we were talking off every, you guys asked me who's my favorite artist. I'm gonna ask you guys the same question. Who is your favorite artist and why?
Like I said off air, it's definitely, I'm torn between Beyonce and Jasmine Sullivan. Beyonce, because of her vocal ability, her stage presence, her work ethic. Yeah, that's how you say it. And Jasmine Sullivan, I know she doesn't have as much clout as B, but her vocal ability is crazy. Like, I think, you know, she goes unrecognized, but her vocal ability and just the emotion she brings when she's performing is out of this world. I've learned so much from her, as far as her riffs and her runs and stuff like that. And definitely Whitney Houston. You know, I haven't always listened to her, but I've been recently looking up her videos of her singing her gospel songs live, and she just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, her national, when she sang the national anthem, now people were like buying it, like just to have like on their phone, because the national anthem, she did it like that great.
Right, who just listens to
the
national anthem?
Like, I'm gonna listen on my phone, but it's Whitney, so.
Exactly.
Of course. So what about you?
My favorite artists are Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Kanye West, and those three predominantly. And Trey Songz influenced me a lot. He was already out when I was like 14, so I was listening to that on repeat. And yeah, those four for the most part.
Yeah, shout out to Trey.
He's a dope writer.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And freestyler. Like if you watch his old videos when he had them.
The braids, yes, the cornrows.
The shape back. He never had nothing else except the shape.
Nope.
He was dope. His writing game is crazy.
Yeah.
It is. Even though he had like a couple producers, like he said, like he still writes at least More than half of all his songs.
And that's why he's still in the game. Like,
yeah.
if you can't write, then once your image is gone in the game, you only have one thing left, and that's your skill. And the only skill that you can really have as a musician is a writer. So when other musicians need something, they come to you for their hooks. They come to you for their lyrics. Like,
right.
You need that skill.
Me, I always, like, when I hear an artist sing a song, and then I hear, like, someone else wrote it, I feel like I feel like I got cheated.
Yeah.
Like, this supposed to be coming from you. Like, I'm getting emotional with the song. I feel like I'd be getting emotional because it's your lyrics, and I feel like it's kind of cheated. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying.
It's a journey. Like, another artist of mine, Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm waiting. No, you're going to get me mad because I've been waiting for his album now. I love Channel Orange, but I need I need some more.
He released, like, I think 3 tracks.
He's smart.
Recently? Yes, recently.
You got to send me that.
He made a song called Hero. I don't know, like, the other two, but he's a genius. Like,
yeah.
And it's because you feel like he only has, like, 2 real albums. And then he has that mixtape that has 76 songs which was his way of getting a job at Def Jam as a writer. Yeah, it's called the Lonnie Brooks Project, and it has 76 songs. And then he came out with his mixtape when he was still just signed as a writer, and then he got signed as an artist because of the traction he got off Tumblr. And now, if you listen to that whole 2 albums, it's almost like you follow his life. You know his life. Like, you get to know the artist. So, like you said, if they don't write it, who am I knowing?
Yeah, I'm knowing their struggle. I'm not knowing you. You just doing an outpour on stage. I'm like, you're doing an act. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So, unfortunately, we're at the end of the show. I really need to start extending the show. Everyone keeps telling me, Shantia, extend it. I may have to start extending it soon. But we have Sade and John Freddy here. Dean's List Tour.
Yes.
Saturday, New Haven.
Oh, there's a show Friday, too.
Where you at?
Berkeley.
Oh.
In New York.
What time?
Soundcheck is 4, but it starts at 6.
I
gotta be there at 4. Y'all gotta be there at 6.
That's early.
Yeah, but, you know, people run late. You just want to make sure everybody get enough time to, you know.
Got you. So, that usually, like, the time you go for sound checks? Is like 2 hours, 3 hours before?
Roughly.
We like to be there before anybody's there, so in case you suck in the sound.
Be like, turn my mic up, turn my mic up.
Yeah.
For sure. So thank you guys so much for coming in today. I had a lot of fun with you guys, and I learned so much more about the Hurt John movement.
Yes.
Anybody wants to follow the Hurt John movement, where do they go?
#HurtJohn on Instagram. Like, that's all you need. Like, a lot of people will have posted, but just follow that. That's the resume. HurtJohn.com is my personal website for all my poetry. If you want to follow as far as what I've done in my career, HurtJohnArts.tumblr.com. And don't forget #DeansLT. That's the Dean's List Tour. And you'll see Sade and I and everyone else involved in the movement. What else? What about you, bro?
I was trying to make sure I gave y'all the
She pulled out the 6 like, let me get this schedule out.
And it's 5 o'clock. Scott is going to kill me. Shout out to Scott.
Yo, shout out.
Yeah, y'all have any shout outs y'all want to give anybody?
Scott, I said, I want to definitely give a shout out to my mom and dad. I had to take their car today. My car is, like, going crazy right now. My sister. Shout out to everybody else on the tour, other dope artists. And God for giving us this opportunity. Can't forget him. And, shout out to Shantia.
Thank you.
For inviting us.
Of course. Anytime I see some dope talent, they got to come here on the 411 with Shantia.
411.
Yes, got to get it popping. So thank you guys for coming in. Next week may or may not be the last show of the semester. Aww. I know. It went by so quick. I know. It's so sad. It's hard. But this semester went by really quick. But I'll be back January.
Congratulations on a successful semester.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. This is like the first, like, real, like, not consistent, but like every week I made sure, like, it's always consistent. So thank you guys for coming in and adding on to that consistency and giving me some knowledge and some greatness to go back. Of course. So make sure you guys follow us at 411 with Shantia B. Follow at HurtJohn, #HurtJohn. Dean's List LT.
At Sade _Emoni, SADE_EMONI.
Yes.
Twitter and Instagram.
You got Twitter?
I don't use it.
Oh, come on.
I don't use it. But it's at Mr. MR _HURTADO Hurtado _. So Mr. Hurtado _. It's long. It don't even work.
we gonna get the tag going after the show's over, so make sure y'all follow it.
Shout out DJ Exotic also.
Yeah, shout out DJ Exotic on the promotion. He on the cut. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back next week on the 411.